Welcome back to Newsmaker Live. I'm Clinton Reynolds, and tonight our special guest is the Executive Director of the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture, Mr. Brian Louisy, and he's coming off a very successful 2012 Business Awards held at the Sandals Grand at Pigeon Point. That was last Saturday. And before we went to break, we're just looking at the awards and just discussing how excellent the awards were. But of course, you know, as we were discussing during the break, I had a few difficulties. And what seems to happen sometimes, a lot of the time, is that, you know, it appears that media are given, you know, they're paid scant regard.
Well, I disagree. I disagree.
And I know we'll debate on that one.
Because we have made over the years a special effort. I think most of the guys in the media will tell you at past events they have their reserved seats specially designated. If there was an issue, it must have been an accident. It must have been inadvertent. But as you realize, I called you personally to invite you to be there.
Yes.
And I did that with most of the media because you know we appreciate the role of the media and the role the media plays in the event, in making the event successful. So if there were any slip-ups, my apologies, but clearly we don't that's not our style.
Well, I mean, of course there must have been something to complain about, and if that's my only complaint, you know, but it's not only the chamber, you know, it's a lot of agencies, a lot of not businesses, but organizations on the island. It might not be international, but it's a localized thing, localized problem, that it seems that, you know, the media are always an afterthought. You know, we put this grand thing together, oh, let's call the media. And they're not part of the planning process. They're not, you know, factored into the equation very early on.
No, we try not to do that, and I think we've made a big step in the right direction. And that, in fact, we actually invited you all to the what we call the dress rehearsal, the Friday evening. So everybody will be able to establish where everybody would be located, because the venue is packed. It's made for television. We didn't want media cameras crossing the line of the videotaping. And
we had that discussion.
Yeah,
we had that discussion earlier in the week, you know, leading up to that dress rehearsal
we
on
make
the
a
Friday.
special effort. But I think also there is sometimes a need for us to find ways to work better, because in these types of events it may make more sense to have limited cameras so that you have a better shots and you get a direct feed almost immediately, or you get a copy of the production as quickly as possible after. But it's something we'll have to work on and to resolve, because we are, as I said, looking at the issues that didn't work as well as we wanted them to work, and we will try to improve on them.
Because one of the things we discussed too is that, you know, well, Media Zone was the exclusive, well, they were there for exclusive live coverage. However, all the other media houses were invited to cover as they felt necessary. But, you know, we're in a very competitive society, and probably media might be more competitive than other businesses.
I wouldn't know about that. That sounds domestic.
I'm advising you on that one. I'm giving you some free advice on that one. So getting footage after the fact, you know, might not sit too well with some media houses. Well, most of them, you know, but we still cooperate. We still cooperate. So, but getting it first and getting the best shots, getting the shots you actually want, is always important for television and for the interviews for radio and newspapers and stuff. But I mean, apart from that, you know, that minor hiccup, I don't think that there were major things that the chamber would consider flops for the whole program.
I think we will take that under advisement. However, as we do our review, we will be looking at our event in detail and paying attention to detail, because we always want to improve. We always want to make the experience better. We always want to give value for money, and we want this to be, you know, an event that all businesses in St. Lucia will participate in and wants to participate in it. And we have a few ideas we'll be looking at, and so we'll be starting the discussion and review very early. By next week we'll be doing that.
Now, I spoke about Richard Peterkin and my good friend Barbara Jacob Small. She was the other MC, and of course her performance, I mean, we all know Barbara. You know, Barbara has done MC for a long time. It was Richard who surprised me because
Well,
I had not experienced him and his humor before.
yeah, Richard has done the emceeing at our past president events, and so we knew the kind of person Richard is. We knew how he can handle himself. We knew of his humor, and so we also had some good scripts written, and he was able to use that and add his own flair.
Well, the only thing about that, I would have added from my observation there, teleprompter somewhere at the back, so that the heads would not have been down as. But I guess, you know, going forward, these are things that would be considered.
Yeah.
The other thing, just before you went to break, you raised a point, and I want to just expound on that point. I want you, rather, to expound on that point. The entertainment. All local entertainment, young people, just superlative. I mean, it sounds like I'm working for the chamber, but really I am not.
Well,
but it was, the entire production was excellent. Talk about the entertainment. You had this young guy, the Robinson young man who wrote this piece. And
yeah, I mean, Michael Robinson singing, Who Knows It, Feels It. And producing the event, we wanted a certain type of entertainment, but we also wanted something that celebrated the talent, celebrated the excellence, and also would let us realize that, you know, our culture is powerful, and our culture, it belongs to us, and we can do things with it, and we could fit it into the classical mode, and it is world class if it is handled well. And I think we got good support from Landmark Events in selecting the artists and the entertainment. And I think every single one of them did a good job. We had Yannick James on the violin.
And his brother Marvin, you know, on the guitar.
Yeah, and then we had the Blaise Pascal project.
Yeah. Oh.
We, you know, again, here we have an international quality artist, you know, who is able to come to St. Lucia and work with young people, share his knowledge, share his expertise, and show what is the potential in our young people. And I think that's all part of what, you know, Nobel Laureate Week is, that we are and we can be excellent, we can be world class.
And as I said, we're celebrating this month on Newsmaker Live, and incidentally, Blaise Pascal will be here, God willing, the 15th of February. That's in 2 weeks' time, so he'll be here with us.
Yeah, so, you know, we had, of course, we don't want to forget Shirley and Cyril Mayers, who brought the curtains down with Leve. I mean, you know, we really must appreciate our culture and appreciate, you know, what we can do with it and how we can express it.
And it's a very rich culture, because Yannick did, you know, a variation to those folk songs. And he put a new twist on them, and I mean, just his, it was excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent choice of artists too.
I think that the young people have loads of talent, and they're extremely eager and enthusiastic, and we must give them that opportunity. And I hope that having seen them perform and having experienced that they will get some more exposure. And, you know, we like to think that, you know, this is another vehicle of exposure, and for them to take off and their careers to take off.
But
so
what
we're pleased with that.
But what is the Chamber of Commerce doing outside of the business awards or other programs you might have throughout the year to harness, you know, those talents and probably market them and make them,
well,
encourage them to
as an institution, we do not have we're not into that type of work of harnessing talent, but we have members. I mean, someone like Adrian Auger, who's in there. You know, people see the business community and the chamber as, you know, just commercial houses. People into the arts and people into music, creative industries, this is all business. And this is where the promoters, the managers have to do that. And what we try to do is to create an environment where it is profitable, where it can be done, where they can take risks, they have the support of the institutions, the legislative framework to be successful. And this is what the chamber is all about. The chamber is about improving the environment in which businesses operate. And people must see businesses beyond the traditional sense, you know. It's not the shop and the store or the bank, you know. Artists are artists, but they earn a living, and that is a business. So they are part of it, you know. Entertainers, the promoters who host shows and put on shows and put on events, they make a living at it. It's a business. They have to do the accounting, they have to do the marketing. You know, they have to do the whole range, manage human resources, everything a business does. So, you know, they are business people, the farmers, they are business people, the fishermen. They are buying and selling fish, they are going out there taking risks. So, you know, all these people are part of the business community, and the chamber as an institution which speaks on their behalf, we constantly seek ways of improving the environment so that all businesses across the island, in all sectors, are better able to do that. And I think this is typified in what the president of the chamber spoke about, that our agenda is the ease of doing business. That is what our raise or debt. How can we improve and make it better for people to do? How can we make it easier for business? And business in all sectors, in all forms. We support that, and that's how we do it.
Now, there might be a misconception that the Chamber of Commerce, or probably you might guide me there, the Chamber of Commerce is for those bigger businesses, those that have already been established, those who have all their systems set up and they're just running on automatic or autopilot. How does the Chamber work, and who gets to be a part of the Chamber?
The Chamber is a membership organization open to every business in St. Lucia, regardless of sector, regardless of size. Since we're a membership organization, we depend on members' subscriptions. So sometimes people may feel that the subscriptions may be a deterrent, but you know, you need to pay staff, you need to hire persons, you need to have an office to operate from, and so you need resources to do that. What people don't realize is that 60% of our members actually only employ between 1 to 9 workers. So we are made up mainly of small businesses, because this is what exists in St. Lucia, small business. We have a few large members. Indeed, the larger members are members of the Chamber of Commerce, and primarily I think it's because they have that social they feel that social responsibility to be part of the business community and to lend a voice to support needs of the business community. So yes, we have the large businesses, but we do have the vast majority being small and micro enterprise.
Wonderful. Now you talk about the subscription probably being a deterrent to some businesses. Typically, how much would a business pay as a subscription, or is it tiered?
It is tiered. Okay. So from small businesses, from 1 to 9 workers, they pay $1,000 a year.
A year, okay.
Yeah, which is less than $100 a month.
And in terms of the benefits, well, let's go through the tiers.
Yeah, well, there's a 1 to 9 to pay $1,000 a year, 10 to 20 they pay $2,000, 20 to 30 they pay $3,000, 30 to 40 pay $4,500, and over 50 they pay $10,000 a year.
Okay.
Okay. But the main benefit they get me as the advocate, as a lobby. But we provide a whole range of services to our members, from training to advice to trade information, also to representation and advocacy, letters of introduction, provision of leads, business leads.
Now, I don't want anybody to miss that point, but we are due for a break, so let's take a break and let's discuss exactly what the Chamber does as far as representing its members. This is Newsmaker Live. I'm Clinton Reynolds. Don't go away. We'll be right back.